Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Greetings to their educators from other countries, also their students from other countries. And we are very happy that today we are celebrating International Mother Language Day. And for this day, our honorable educator, Nadia ma'am, requested me to arrange a session about International Mother Language Day. And I told him that time, the ma'am, no problem. I shall try to arrange. And by the help of all educators, we are going to starting our this International Mother Language Day poetry recitation session. I heartily thanks to Nadia ma'am, also all their educators, Higi ma'am, Nirmala ma'am, and all teachers. You can see that Irene ma'am, Or ma'am.
So can I share the screen, please?
Yeah, ma'am. I will share it. And now I am giving thanks to all of their educators and students. And now I want to share a small weeklet presentation about the history of International Mother Language Day. Okay. So I am going to share my screen.
My students, Yiqing Chen, they have problem in her family, so her classmate Pei Yingqing has come in. She will represent her introduce the Taiwanese song and the poem. 那个佩影，请你把 camera 打开。佩影。
Okay.
Hey Yingqing, please open your camera and the microphone.
Okay, ma'am. I am just now sharing the history of International Mother Language Day. Just 3 minutes. I am going to start.
So shall I start, Atikur?
Yeah, dear ma'am. Yes. Can you share the weeklet page, ma'am? It is
so
our,
dear friends.
Yeah, marker image. Begule calls Shohid Minar. Okay. And now it is celebrated International Mother Language Day. And it is just a normal little song. I just want to display it. Just a minute, please. It was really our first time song when we start our Okay, ma'am, I shortly just display it. Really, this song is, we express our everything in our mother language there. This song contains it. Now, come to the how the Mother Language Day is celebrated. International Mother Language Day is a worldwide annual observance held on 21 February to promote awareness and linguistic and cultural diversity and to promote multilingualism, first announced by UNESCO on 17 November 1999. It was formally organized by the United States General Assembly with the adoption of UN Resolution 56 by 262 in 2002. Mother language is the part of a broader initiative to promote the preservation and protection of all languages used by peoples of the world, as adopted by the UN General Assembly on 16 May 2007 in UN Resolution 61/266, which also established 2008 as the International Year of Language. The idea of celebrate International Mother Language Day was the initiative of Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, 21 February is the anniversary of the day when the people of Bangladesh, then yes Pakistan, we were that time yes Pakistan, now we are Bangladesh, fought the recognition of the Bangla language. It is also celebrated in West Bengal, India. And these are the picture of that time. You can see that procession march held on 21 February 1952 in Dhaka. And Dhaka is now our capital city. History: 21 February was declared to be the International Mother Language Day by UNESCO. 1999, it has been celebrated throughout the world since 21 February 2000. The declaration came up in tribute to the language movement done by the Bangladesh. When Pakistan was created in 1947, it had two geographically separate parts, East Pakistan, currently known as Bangladesh, that means our country, and West Pakistan, currently known as Pakistan. The two parts were very different from each other in the sense of culture and language. The two parts were also separated by India in between. In 1947, the then government of Pakistan declared Urdu to be the sole national language of Pakistan, even though Bengali or Bangla was spoken by the majority people of remaining East Pakistan and West Pakistan. The East Pakistan people protested since the majority of the population was the East Pakistan and their mother language was Bangla. They demand Bangla to be at least one of the national languages in addition to Urdu. The demand was raised first day. Dhirendranath Datta, a famous person of Bangladesh, from East Pakistan on 23 February 1948 in the Constituent Assembly of Pakistan. To demolish the protest, the government of Pakistan outlawed public meeting and released the students of the university with the support of general public arranged message release and meeting. On 21 February 1952, police opened fire on the rallies. Abdul Salam, Abdul Barkat, Rafiquddin Ahmed, Abdul Jabbar, they are the students of Dhaka University, and Shafiur Rahman died with hundreds of other injured. This was a rare incident in the history where people sacrificed their lives from their mother tongue. International Mother Language Day is a national holiday in Bangladesh. The resolution was suggested by Rafiqul Islam and Abdul Salam, Bengalis living in Vancouver, Canada. They wrote a letter of Kulianan on 9 January 1999, asking him to take a step of saving the world's language from extinction by declaring an International Mother Language Day. Rafiq proposed the date as 21 February to commemorate the 1952 killings in Dhaka during the language movement. Rafiqul Islam proposed was introduced in the Bangladesh Parliament and in due course at the behest of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, a formal proposal was submitted to UNESCO by the government of Bangladesh. The process of safeguarding the proposal through UNESCO regulatory system was undertaken by Syed Muhammad Ali, then Bangladesh ambassador to France and permanent representative to UNESCO, and Kujamel Tunihop, his predecessor, who was then a special advisor of UNESCO Secretary General, Federico Mayor, a mountain built in memory of the martyrs, and its replies to express their deep sorrow and respect, gratitude to them. Shohid Minar, it is the symbol where we put flower. Since then, Bangladesh is celebrated the International Mother Language Day as one of their tragic days. They visit to finally on 17 November 1999, the 13th General Assembly of UNESCO unanimously resolved that 21 February will be proclaimed International Mother Language through the world to recommend the martyrs who sacrificed their lives on this very day in 1952. This were our the history, and we are that nation who fight for this. Here is also a song. Just I want to hear a few minutes. That means I want to say that here the Minister of Pakistan already declared in her own voice, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, only Urdu will be the state language, no other language will be the state language. And for this, our brave students and people fight for our mother language. And here is a picture of Tasnia, when she was a student of preschool, and he competition, he take participant with International Mother Language Day competition. Here is a matter, and in this day it is our holiday, and also this month we celebrate book fair also on the occasion of our International Mother Language Day, and it is our school. This picture is before picture, and you can see Shohid Minar and the information of, and this is our Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, our father of nation. You can see that, and this picture was when we fight for our mother language. Okay, thank you so much, dear honorable teachers and students. Now I am going to stop my share. Now I am going to Darsini and Tasnia, and this session, our keynote speaker is, we know that our Nadia ma'am, she is from Russia. She is our this session keynote speaker. So now I am going to request Darsini and Tasnia to handle this session. Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the very first session of Poetry Appreciation. Given that we have participants from 10 different countries, the event is aptly named as Poetry Beyond Borders, in love with verses. How true. We'll not fall in love with verses, with poetry, for it can tell a story, enact a drama, convey ideas, offer vivid and unique description for our feelings, and open us up to new ideas.
Absolutely. Also, reading poetry stretches our mind and forces us to think. We truly have to concentrate on every word and detect the meaning because most words have multiple meanings that the poet intended. It's like a puzzle, and who doesn't love puzzles? Which is why we decided to organize this event to understand poetry and to detect the meaning and to love poetry.
The next hour or so, you will be listening to some amazing verses in the national language of participating country. Yes, you will hear poetry in Arabic, Chinese, Malay, Bangla, and Hindi. You guessed it right. The participants today represent Egypt, Taiwan, Malaysia, Bangladesh, and India.
Before we commence, we introduce our keynote speaker, Mrs. Nadia Ivanova, an educator, secondary school teacher from Krasny, Russia, a poetry enthusiast and avid reader. Mrs. Nadia Ivanova believes that poetry is like a love letter that leaves an impression which lingers in your ear forever.
For more on poetry, her own love for it, and how we can develop an appreciation for it, over to ma'am. I want now ma'am deliver her valuable speech about poem recitation.
So, just a second, dear friends. Just a second. Now, so let me start. I'm a bit nervous. You know, actually, I'm not much of a poet. I do recite poetry with students, but as far as I understand, I was to talk about the International Mother Language Day. And that's why, if you don't mind, I prepared. So these days, I try to present my reports in some non-traditional ways. And I wanted, so I prepared a Kahoot to talk about the International Mother Language Day. So we can play it right now, just a kind of, so Atikur Rahman told some information about this festival, the history, and we can summarize either at the end of the session or at the beginning. But I did not prepare to talk about poetry, only about International Mother Day. So what shall we do? Shall I start now with the Kahoot, Atikur, or shall we play at the end?
Okay, ma'am, if you want, no problem.
So, okay, because I prepared my report with slides, with information. So thank you, Atikur, sir, for giving the insight into the history of this festival. And I even shared with my Russian teachers the origin of the festival, because today they were celebrating with students in the International Mother Language Day. And I explained to them the history behind the festival, which was initiated by Bangladesh. So I will use a Kahoot just to support my speech about the festival. And what can I say? It is great that today we are going to present in different languages. So just reminding the world that poetry, art, literature have no borders, because we can understand the language of the dance, of the song, the verse, the emotions of different people. Yes. You can join.
Yeah, ma'am, is it
4994. So I will wait for 30 seconds, for a minute, and then we will play and we will talk about the International Mother Day, because today we are not having an ordinary poetry recital, but today we dedicate our recital to this important festival of preservance of the national language.
Yeah, excuse me, ma'am. Is it only for student?
educators also join in. Usually play.
Okay,
Teacher
ma'am. Thank
Penny is
you.
usually the winner. Teacher Taruna, ma'am. Yes, you can also join because we play and we learn about this festival. Okay. I guess we will start and you can join 7494994. So I will just briefly remind you of this festival, of the history. So, according to the United Nations Declaration, languages are the most powerful instruments of preserving and developing our tangible and intangible heritage. So, as for the poetry, it belongs to intangible heritage. Art, culture belongs to intangible cultural heritage. So, the International Mother Language Day, was initiated by Bangladesh. You know the history behind the festival. It was announced in 1999, and since 2000 it has been celebrated on the 21st of February because this day has a special meaning for the people of Bangladesh. So what day do we celebrate International Mother Language Day? It is on Monday. This is the tradition, the official poster for the festival. This day is celebrated on the 21st of February. Everybody remembers this day. Oops. So now, what country initiated the International Mother Language Day? You know, frankly speaking, thanks to my friends from Bangladesh, it is the second year that I'm celebrating International Mother Language Day. Before last year, I have never even known about this festival. Thanks to my friends from this significant country. I always tell my students that though this country is not very big on the map, but the population is bigger than in Russia, and they initiated a very important festival. Yes, Bangladesh stands behind the festival. Yes. So you know about this monument, which is called the Shahid Minar, if I'm saying it right, or in other words, it is a martyr monument commemorating the people who gave their lives in the Bengali language movement to preserve their right to speak their mother tongue. Multi-select. So the monument in Dhaka is called the Shahid Minar, the Martyr Monument, the Mausoleum, or the Rising Sun. Just to remember, you play and you remember about this festival, this event. Yes, there are two names for this monument. Unica comes to the top. So this year, the theme of the festival is using technology for multilingual learning, challenges and opportunities. You know that your teachers, especially teachers of English, of languages, are using technologies very much, different applications, programs, and so on. All of them have some advantages and drawbacks, and this is the issue to be discussed. So what is the role of languages? Here is some video.
Is essential to our well-being. Languages allow us to exercise our human rights and fundamental freedoms. They are vital to our daily existence and to building human connections. Through language, we can preserve our history, customs, and traditions, convey our thoughts, express ourselves in a language of our choice, and build our future. Worldwide, there are over 7,000 languages in use, and many of these are...
Yes, no. how many world languages are there? Population is how many languages are spoken worldwide? There are 7,000 of them, yes. Minduk comes to the second place. An indigenous language is spoken by whom? Native people, people of the world, or Aboriginal people? Indigenous people speak indigenous language. Who are these people? Natives, Aboriginal people, or people of the world? Yes, these are people belonging to this country, native people. Minduk comes to the top. So now watch a piece of film about indigenous languages, which are in danger.
Languages are increasingly falling out of use, reflecting the vulnerable situation of indigenous peoples worldwide. This is happening for a number of different reasons: increased globalization, urbanization, migration, climate change, and many other factors are impacting the well-being of language communities and
So yes, indigenous languages, mother languages of small nations are being under threat for different reasons. So that's true. And what are the reasons for language extinction, for language danger? Climate change, globalization, urbanization, migration. Yes, all of the four and many more reasons influence language survival. So, you know, in this
to address this trend, and building on the 2019 International Year of Indigenous Languages, the United Nations has proclaimed the period 2022 to 2032 as the International Decade of Indigenous Languages, with UNESCO.
So, to preserve, revitalize, and promote indigenous languages, a decade was proclaimed for beginning from this year. So, it is called IDIL, Indigenous Decade of Languages. So, you know, today we are reciting poetry in our mother tongue, and I found the famous American poem written by Longfellow, The Song of Hiawatha, and the famous piece which is called The Peace Pipe. So it is about languages. I want you to watch some pieces and reflect.
The Peace Pipe. On the mountains of the prairie, on the great red pipestone quarry, Gitche Manito, the mighty, he, the master of life, descending on the red crags of the quarry, stood erect and called the nations, called the tribes of men together.
So Gitche Manito called the nations to come together. Why? Why did he call the nations to come together? To start a war, to make peace, or to throw off the conflicts? Yes, to make peace. Gitche Manito called nations to make peace. How many nations came to the council?
Down the rivers, over the prairies, came the warriors of the nations, came the Delawares and Mohawks, came the Choctaws and Comanches, came the Shoshones and Blackfeet, came the Pawnees and Omahas, came the Mandans and Dakotas, came the Hurons and Ojibways, all the warriors drawn together by the signal of the peace pipe.
So yes, how many nations came to the Peace Council? Type the answer. So yes, 12 nations, 12 Indian tribes came to the council. Came the warriors, came the Delawares and Mohawks, came the Choctaws and Comanches, came the Shoshones and Blackfeet, came the Pawnees and Omahawks, came the Mandans and Dakotas, came the Hurons and Ojibways. That makes 12 nations. So again, according to the bulletin by United Nations, the dissemination of mother languages will serve not only to encourage linguistic diversity and multilingual education, but also to develop full awareness of linguistic and cultural traditions throughout the world. So okay, I will summarize after the podium. So here comes the podium, and so Moni is the winner, Kumika is the second place, and Vic is in the third place. Oh,
Clap everyone.
oh, excuse me, I will switch off. Oh, excuse me. Just a second, I will switch off. Okay. Just to summarize, I would say that Gitche Manita called the fighting tribes to the Council of Peace, and the 12 nations came. And so I think that the idea behind this piece of the poem by Longfellow is that when people speak their national languages, they should live in peace. They should not impose Urdu and other languages on others. They should not impose their culture. We should preserve our culture and not and avoid wars and conflicts. We should negotiate, maybe using the English language as an example of lingua franca. And just to say a few words, so tomorrow, so you know, on Tuesdays, every Tuesday we have the same time. We are having our Readers Club, and tomorrow we are going to read the Song of Hiawatha. And if you wish, you can come join us. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nadia, for the wonderful session. And so we begin. Now comes the most interesting part, listening to a poetry from other cultures in other languages. What an innovative way to appreciate poetry as well as languages and to understand other culture. We begin the poems with native language. First, we invite Yi Ching Chen's classmate from Taiwan to deliver her poem.
Okay, welcome. And can you let me share the screen? Okay. 配影好了吗? Okay, please open your camera. Okay, it's our pleasure, and we're Chongqing Junior High School from New Taipei City, Taiwan. And because our Yi Ching Chen has recorded already, but we invited her classmates, it's our classmate, Pei Ying Chen, to introduce English poems main idea, and she is coming. Okay, Pei Chen, would you open your camera and the microphone? Okay, thanks. Our honor to join the third Poetry Beyond Borders in Love with Verses. And we were honored to introduce Taiwanese poem, Open the Window to the Heart. Okay. Hello, Payne, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, can you introduce yourself now? Okay, now.
Hi, I'm Pei Chen. I'm Chongqing Junior High School student in class 807. My classmate Yi Qing Chen has some problem with the Wi-Fi in her family. I represented her to introduce the Taiwanese poetry. My teacher Chen Huiyu will play her Taiwanese poetry presentation later.
Okay, next one. It's the dialogue.
Yes, the dialogue between Taiwan music and literature in 1958. 1958, after the land reform, many landlords was deprived of their land and became depressed, which is regarded as a classic folk song to soothe people's hearts. What I learned from the poem. First, youth is the hottest years of
Vitality.
And dreams are the foundation of hope. If you have dreams in youth, you will have a bright and beautiful life. What I learned from the poem. Second, in the face of adversity, he still retains the song of good things, revealing a strong message of life. What I learned from the poem. Third, the autonomy and realism of the songs are the most important. The self-realism is so appropriate and resonates. What I feel. I think this song is full of poetry and it sounds good. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Pei Chen to represent her classmate Yi Qing Chen. Okay, let me share the Yi Qing Chen. We recorded already. Okay, let me change the link.
Hi, my name is Yi Qing Chen. I am Chongqing Junior High School student. I would like to introduce a beautiful Taiwanese poem. 温暖看不醒来浓汤. If you can open your inner door and window. 温暖拍开心内的门，就会看见古彩的春光。虽然春天无久长，总会暂时消温，满腹心酸。春光今何在？望你永远伫阮心内。阮若拍开心内的门，就会看见古彩的春光。阮若拍开心内的窗，就会看见心爱迄个人。虽然人去楼嘛空，总会暂时予阮心头轻松。所爱的人今何在？望你永远伫阮心内。阮若拍开心内的窗，就会看见心爱迄个人。多谢大家 ，Thank you so much. Let's show our better and the door. Nói câu cái gì quên này thay cái gì quên này mỏng cái gì quên này khổ là cái nhân tôi chia khổ là
Okay, tongue means window and the meng means the door. Okay, it's our teaching chance presentation and thanks everyone. And I will share our whole presentation PowerPoint to share with you and then everyone can learn our Taiwanese, beautiful Taiwanese. And it also the extra and to represent the Taiwanese very folk song, very famous popular song in Taiwan. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Pei Chen, for that wonderful poem. Now we have Azalea Erika binti Rosli from Malaysia to deliver a poem. Please welcome Azalea.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Azalea Erika from SK St. Patrick. Usman Awang. Wan Osman Wan Awang, also known by his pen name Usman Awang, was a Malaysian poet, playwright, novelist, and a Malaysian national laureate. Wan Osman was born into a poor peasant family. He graduated from 6th grade in his local Malay school. After the war, he joined the police force and served in Johor and Malacca between the years of 1946 to 1951. He moved to Singapore, where he initially worked as a proofreader and then as a reporter for the newspaper Melayu Raya. He later joined the weekly Mingguan Melayu in 1952. Its daily counterpart, Utusan Melayu, began publishing his first poems and stories in both these newspapers. After Malaysia's independence in 1952, he lived in Kuala Lumpur and worked in the National Regulatory Board, the Dewan Bahasa and Pustaka until 1985. Usman Awang died of a heart attack on 29 November 2001 in Kuala Lumpur. He was laid to rest at Bukit Kiara Muslim Cemetery, Kuala Lumpur. He was 72 years old. This poem tells of the struggle of the colonized. We have become independent and we should not allow ourselves to be slaves in our own country. I'm delighted to recite a poem written by the greatest poet in my country, Malaysia, who is Mr. Usman Awang. I'm going to recite a poem in Malay language called Jiwa Hamba. Jiwa Hamba. Termenung seketika sunyi sejenak, kosong di jiwa tiada penghuni. Hidup terasa diperbudak-budak, hanya suara melambung tinggi. Berpusing roda berlarilah masa, pelbagai neka hidup di bumi. Selagi hidup berjiwa hamba, pasti tetap terjajah abadi. Kalau hidup ingin merdeka, tiada tercapai hanya berkata. Kemuka maju sekata, maju kita. Melemparkan jauh jiwa hamba. Ingatkan kembali kata sakti, di bahang kesedaran berapi. Di atas rombongan kota Melaka, kita dirikan jiwa merdeka. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Azalea, for choosing Mr. Usman Awang's poem. It was really touching. Now we have Arina Gregoria from Russia. You may proceed, Arina.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes, I will share the screen and we will, just a second, because I had a call, an urgent call. All right. So we will recite a poem by Alexander Pushkin, a great Russian poet. So maybe I misunderstood, we didn't prepare the biography of this poet. He's considered to be the founder of the Russian language. And if we have time, we can again play a Kahoot about Alexander Pushkin at the end of the session. But here comes the poem, a piece of Ruslan and Ludmila, which is called Lukomorye. So just a fairy place in the Russian tale by Alexander Pushkin. So I will show the pictures and Arina will recite. Arina, do please.
У лукоморья дуб зеленый, золотая цепь над убитом. И днем и ночью кот ученый все ходит по цепи кругом. Идет направо, весь заводит, налево сказку говорит. Там чудеса, там леший бродит, русалка на ветвях сидит.
Там
на неведомых дорожках следы невиданных зверей. Избушка там на курьих ножках, стоит без окон, без дверей. Там лес и долгий день не помню, там о заре прихлынут волны на брег песчаный и пустой. И 30 витязей прекрасных чередой из вод выходят ясных, и с ними дядька их морской. Там королевич мимоходом пленяет грозного царя. Там в облаках перед народом через леса, через моря колдун несет богатыря. Темниц там царевна тужит, а бурый волк ей верно служит. Там ступа с бабой Ягой идет, бредет сама с собой. Там царь Кощей над златом чахнет. Там русский дух, там Русью пахнет. И там я был, и мед я пил. У моря видел дуб зеленый, под ним сидел, и кот ученый своими сказки говорил.
So you can see the illustration to the poem, and you can see the great Russian poet Pushkin listening to the fairy tales by the cat. So thank you for watching, for listening. Thank you, Arina.
Wow. Thank you so much, our dear friend Arina. Let us proceed to Vietnam, which is Nguyen Minh Duc.
Okay. So, hi everybody, my full name is Nguyễn Minh Đức. I'm studying class 7C at Legrong Junior High School of Lockhart City, Vietnam. So today I'm very glad to participate in Poetry Beyond Borders, and now it's my pleasure to read the poem Đêm nay bác không ngủ of the poet Ho Chi Minh, also known as Uncle Ho. Ho Chi Minh is the first president of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam that is loved by all the Vietnamese people. Now I'll read the poem Đêm nay bác không ngủ. Anh đội viên thức dậy, thấy trời khuya lắm rồi, mà sao bác vẫn ngồi, đêm nay bác không ngủ. Lặng yên bên bếp lửa, vẻ mặt bác trầm ngâm, ngoài trời mưa lâm thâm, mái lều tranh xơ xác. Anh đội viên nhìn bác, càng nhìn lại càng thương, người cha mái tóc bạc, đốt lửa cho anh nằm. Rồi bác đi rém chăn, từng người một, sợ cháu mình giật thột, bác nhón chân nhẹ nhàng. Anh đội viên mơ màng, như nằm trong giấc mộng, bóng bác cao lồng lộng, ấm hơn ngọn lửa hồng. Thổn thức cả nỗi lòng, thầm thì anh hỏi nhỏ, bác ơi bác chưa ngủ, bác có lạnh lắm không? Chú cứ việc ngủ ngon, ngày mai đi đánh giặc. Vâng lời anh nhắm mắt, nhưng bụng vẫn bồn chồn. Không biết nói gì hơn, anh nằm lo bác ốm, lòng anh cứ bề bộn, vì bác vẫn thức hoài. Chiến dịch hãy còn dài, rừng lắm dốc lắm ụ, đêm nay bác không ngủ, lấy sức đâu mà đi. Lần thứ 3 thức dậy, anh hốt hoảng giật mình, bác vẫn ngồi đinh ninh, chòm râu im phăng phắc. Anh vội vàng nằng nặc, mời bác ngủ bác ơi, trời sắp sáng mất rồi, bác ơi mời bác ngủ. Chú cứ việc ngủ ngon, ngày mai đi đánh giặc, bác thức thì mặc bác ngủ không an lòng. Bác thương đoàn dân công, đêm nay ngủ ngoài rừng, dải lá cây làm chiếu, manh áo phủ làm chăn. Trời thì mưa lâm thâm,
làm sao cho khỏi ướt, càng thương càng nắng ruột, mong trời sáng mau mau. Anh đội viên nhìn bác nhìn ngọn lửa hồng, lòng vui sướng mênh mông, anh thức luôn cùng bác. Đêm nay bác ngồi đó, đêm nay bác không ngủ, vì một lẽ thường tình, bác là Hồ Chí Minh. Hồ Chí Minh. And the meaning of this poem is đêm nay bác không ngủ. It's such a beautiful name, and it expresses Uncle Ho's deep and big love for the army and the people, and at the same time expresses the Soviets' love and admiration for the letter. The close relationship between the revolutionary letter and the revolutionary masses is also reflected very successfully in the work. So that is all of my speech. Thank you so much for listening to my speech.
Wow, thank you so much, Nguyen. Even though I don't understand your language, but I'm sure it was a beautiful poem. It was well delivered, and thank you. Now we have our last and but not least, Tasnia Rahman from Bangladesh.
Hey everyone, I'm Tasnia Rahman. I'm from Bangladesh. I am grade 10. Now I'm starting reciting my poem in my national language. 21 দাউদ হায়দার। এই ঘাস, এই মাটির বুকে পা রেখো। এখানে আমার ভাই বরকত, সালাম, আসাদিরা শুয়ে আছে। ওরা ব্যথা পাবে, ডুকরি কেঁদে উঠবে। এই নরম মাটিতে আস্তে করে পা ফেলো। আমার ভাইয়ের রক্তে এ বাংলা এখনো ভেজা, স্যাঁতসেঁতে। এ মাটি রাত্রি দিন কেঁদে কেঁদে প্রার্থনা করে বিধাতার কাছে। আমার মায়ের ভাষা মুখ থেকে কেড়ে নিতে দেব না, দেব না। এই মাটির বুকে কিংবা বাতাসে কান পেতে শোনো। রাত্রির বেহালার করুণ সুরের মতো নীরবতা কাঁদছে যেন। আর বুলেটের ঘায়ে কোথাও রক্ত ঝরছে, আর কোথাও একটু রা শব্দ নেই, শুধু জননী পাখিগুলো কাঁদছে। যে দেখো রাজপথে দুরন্ত রক্তের স্রোত, পুলিশের লাল গাড়ির অক্লান্ত মোহরা। মা আমার বস্তির কুড়ে ঘর থেকে শাড়ির আঁচলে মুখ ঢেকে যে দেখছেন তার আদরে ছেলেরাই বারবার হৃত অধিকার ফেরাবার সংগ্রামে মিশে যায় এই মাটির বুকে কেমন হাসি মুখে। এই ঘাস, এই মাটির বুকে পা রেখো আস্তে করে। এখানে আমার কটি ভাই রক্তাক্ত শরীরে শুয়ে আছে। Thank you.
Wow, Tasnia. Wow, it was well delivered, and you recited the poem with full expression, and words can't describe how touching it was. Now over to you, Tasnia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darshini. The next participant will be from Egypt, Noor Shaban Alabasi.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. This is Noor Shaban Alabasi. I will talk about Elia Abu Madi. Is an Arabic Lebanese poet who is considered one of the most important diaspora poets in the early 20th century. He entered the school of Al-Muhaddasa located next to the church. I will read now. Now I will read. قال السماء كئيبة وتهجما. قلت ابتسم يكفي التهجم في السماء. قال الصبا ولا فقلت له ابتسم لن يرجع الأسف الصبا المتصرمة. قال التي كان السماء في الهوى صارت لنفسي في الغرام جهنما. خانت عهودي بعدما ملكتها قلبي فكيف أطيق أن أتبسم. قلت ابتسم واضطرب فلو قارنتها لقضيت عمرك كله متألما. قال التجارة في صراع هائل مثل المسافر كاد يقتله الظما أو غالة مسلولة محتاجة لدم وتنفس كلما لهست دما. قلت ابتسم ما أنت جالب دائها وشفاؤها فإذا ابتسمت فربما أيكون غيرك مجرما وتبيت في وجل كأنك أنت صرت المجرما. قال العدا حولي عل صيحاتهم أأصر والأعداء حولي في الحمى لو لم تكن منهم أجل وأعظم. قال المواسم قبلت أعلامها وتعرضت لي في الملابس والدم وعلي للأحباب فرض لازم لكن كفى ليس تملك درهما. قلت ابتسم لم يطلبوك بذمهم. قلت ابتسم يكفيك أنك لم تزل حيا وليس من الأحبة معدما. قال الليالي جرعتني علقما. قلت ابتسم ولئن جرعت العلقما فلعل غيرك إن رآك مرنما طرح الكآبة جانبا وترنما. أتراك تغنم بالتبرع درهما أم أنت تخسر بالبشاعة مغنما. يا صاح لا غطر على شفتيك أن تتسلم والوجه أن يتحطم فاضحك فإن الشهب تضحك والدجى متلاطم ولذا نحب الأنجم. قال البشاشة ليس تسعد كائنا يأتي إلى الدنيا ويذهب مرغما. قلت ابتسم ما دام بينك والردي شبرا فإنك بعد لن تتبسم. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. Let's invite the participants from India. Bhumika Tiwari.
Hello, actually, the one participant that has presented before me, can you please stop sharing so that I can start my sharing?
Noor Shaban Alablasi. Stop your sharing.
Okay, we'll stop now. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. William Wordsworth once said, "Poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion, recollected in tranquility." With this quote, my name is Bhumika Tiwari, and I'm a student of class 9th in the Learning STEM International School, India. The poem I'm going to present today is Pushp Ki Abhilasha. This poem is written by the famous poet Makhanlal Chaturvedi ji, who was known as an Indian soul or Ek Bhartiya Atma. He was an Indian poet, writer, essayist, and a journalist. He is remembered for his participation in the India's national struggle for independence. He was also known for the neo-romanticism movement of Hindi literature. चाह नहीं मैं सुर बाला के गहनों में गूथा जाऊं, चाह नहीं मैं प्रेमी माला में बिंद प्यारी को ललचाऊं, चाह नहीं सम्राटों के शव पर हे हरि डाला जाऊं, चाह नहीं देवों के सर पर चढ़ूं भाग्य पर इठलाऊं, मुझे तोड़ लेना वनमाली, मुझे तोड़ लेना वनमाली, उस पथ पर तुम देना फेंक, मातृभूमि पर शीश चढ़ाने, जिस पथ जाएं वीर अनेक, जिस पथ जाएं वीर अनेक. The language used in poem is an ancient form of Hindi language known as Khadi Boli. The poem belongs to heroic style or bravery sentiment. It is composed of liberated verses. It is a dramatic poetry and depicts one's patriotism for its motherland. It's a poem full of enthusiasm. The poetic devices used in the poem are alteration and repetition. In this poem, the poet is trying to express in clear words all the wishes of a flower. He is saying that the flower loves its motherland to such an extent that it doesn't want anything but to fall on its motherland. The poem begins with the poet mentioning all the wishes the flower has. That is, it doesn't want to sacrifice itself by getting made into a women's necklace, not caring how beautiful the women might be. Then it doesn't want to fall on some woman's love. It doesn't want to plucked and be sacrificed on the graves of the dead people, and neither want to be offered to the gods. All it wants is to be sacrificed for its motherland, like the soldiers who gave up their lives for them fighting for it. This poem is about sacrifice and giving up of lives for the motherland. That is, love for the country and its land. In this, the poet is being a flower and describing his feelings for his country and his land, and how much he loves it that he can also sacrifice his life for it. This poem is based on self-sacrification for the nation. Thank you everyone for your precious time and attention. And also, I would like to present my heartfelt gratitude to Atikur Rahman sir for giving us such a great opportunity to present and share a part of our culture on an international platform. Thank you, sir. Further, I want to extend my generous thanks to my principal ma'am, Miss Kaushal Singh, for always encouraging and believing in me and for giving me this chance. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you to our moderators, and I appreciate the other poems, and all the best to all the participants. Thank you.
Put our hands together for Bhumika. The next participants will be from Nepal. Sabina Khanal. Sabina Khanal.
There, Sharada Ben. Okay, Dina, you can start next one.
Okay. Let's invite the participant from Ukraine, Vera Zakharchenko. Ukraine, Vera Zakharchenko.
Hello, I am Vera Zakharchenko. I'm from Ukraine. Ось небо блакитне і сонце в зеніті. Моя батьківщина найкраща у світі. Моя батьківщина – це ліс і озерця, безмежні степи і чарівні джерельця, красиві пейзажі і гори високі, маленькі струмочки і ріки глибокі, великі міста, у садочках всі села. Моя Україна – це пісня весела, її обереги, верба і калина. Найкраща у світі моя Україна. Моя Україна – козацька слава, така волелюбна і мирна держава. Вона дорога нам і рідна, і мила, бо світ перед нами, як мати відкрила. Усім найрідніша і вітчизна і мати. То як же нам, дітям, її не кохати? Вітчизна, свята, дорога Україна, для кожного з нас ти у світі єдина.
We love Ukraine! We love Ukrainians!
Thank you!
So, dear teachers, dear students, thank you very much for your attention. So our poem is about the beauty of our native land, Ukraine, about its endless steppe, about its wonderful rivers, about people who live and work on this territory, and of course about our endless love to our native country. Thank you so much.
It is such a wonderful performance. Thank you, Vera. We put our hands together for everybody. Next in order are the participants from Italy. Angela Martletta.
Sorry, my student is going back home, and I can read the poem if you want.
Here.
Yes? Okay. I hope she will come back, she will arrive at home so she can read. So I would like to say that Angela Marletta, she was a bit frightened, a bit shy, and I was very, very proud of her because she studied and she prepared this PowerPoint. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
we can see your screen.
Okay, then the poem is Infinity. We are a Liceo Scientifico Majorana from Italy, and it's upper secondary school. The name of the poem is Infinity by Giacomo Leopardi. So, the author introduction. Giacomo Leopardi was born on the 29th June 1798 in Recanati in Marche region, and he was one of the most important symbols in Italy, in Italian literature. Most important works, he wrote many poems. We remember Zibaldone, the Moral Operetta, and Idylls, in which find to the moon and Saturday Village and Infinity. So, Infinity, this poem talks about the power of imagination. Yes, just a minute. Power that can overcome obstacles and anyone's problem. In this poem, the most important symbol is age that limits the view of our eyes, and then it starts the imagination. Oh, let's see. It's such a shame that my student is not reading here. I hope she can arrive. Anyway, I read the poem. L'infinito, sempre caro mi fu quell'ermo colle e questa siepe che da tanta parte dell'ultimo orizzonte il guardo esclude. Ma sedendo e mirando interminati spazi di là, da quelle sovrumani silenzi e profondissima quiete, io nel pensier mi fingo, ove per poco il cor non si spaura. E come il vento odo stormir tra queste piante, io quell'infinito silenzio a questa voce vo comparando e mi sovvien l'eterno, e le morte stagioni, e la presente e viva, e il suon di lei. Così tra questa immensità s'annega il pensier mio, e il naufragarmi dolce in questo mare. Please, my student is arrived at home. Can you from and she can read again? Yes. Then yes, Angela. Angela.
Yes. Angela
Yes.
Marletta.
Yes, Angela Marletta. Angela, please, can you introduce yourself and read the poem? Angela, presentati e leggi, dai, vai. Angela, are you ready? Angela? Please, because it's important that she can read the poem, okay? Angela? Sì, sei pronta? Angela, leggi. Angela? Angela Marletta? Are you ready? Angela? Angela, pronta? Angela, puoi leggere?
Is she absent?
Is she in the conversation? She said she's ready. Can you come back in a minute if you want? Can you call the other countries?
Okay, no problem. Sabina Khanal from Nepal, are you here? Sabina Khanal.
Now, any comment from the educators or any first student? Okay, I didn't name, no problem. Maybe your student had a eviction. You already tell us.
Yes.
No problem. We all are educators. We know the student behave. Some are shameless. So there is no problem, man. No problem. And
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
no, man. No problem. Maybe your student feel shame, so there is no problem, I think. Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Now, Tasnia, you can start. Next one, maybe next one, Nepali student from Sharada ma'am, and I am trying to contact with Sharada ma'am, but she could not respond. I could not find her on Messenger, so I think maybe ma'am faces problem. I think maybe network problem. So I want to go to the our finishing timeline. So Tasnia and Darsini, if you want to say something, welcome.
It truly was a Monday well spent. The event helped us make new friends, listen to some amazing poetry, and learn to appreciate the rhyme, rhythm, and emotions in the poem. It even taught us that no matter which country we are from or whichever language we may speak, poetry is universal. Even if you don't know the language, you can enjoy and appreciate the words, the rhythm, and the imagery. Thank you so much, Ma'am Nadira Ivanova, and all dear honorable educators. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, my camera is.
I want to handle this session to Nirmala ma'am. We are at the last moment. Ma'am, if any educators want to tell us something about this session, you can just handle it.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Rahman, for organizing such a wonderful session on all of us to get to know so many countries' mother tongue. You know, it is wonderful to see the educators and also the students, you know, collaborating in order to prepare for this wonderful program. And Mr. Rahman, I will give you a round of applause because you have done a great job. And also to Nadia ma'am, who also assisted us as the guest speaker and also helped us with Wakelet and Flipgrid. And so all the students, the educators, please encourage your students to record their poem, the mother tongue poem, and upload in Flipgrid because it will be there. And the recording of the session, I will forward to Mr. Rahman, and he will be, you know, uploading in his YouTube channel so that, you know, we can get to see, so that all of us can show to other students who did not attend today's session, right? So I will talk with him where to upload. Then we will make it available. We will post in Wakelet collection that Nadia ma'am has shared with us. So wonderful presentation, especially from educators around the world. You know, I'm sure it is the morning, the afternoon, and also evening in some of the countries, but yet you made the effort to join from school, from home. Thank you so much. So we will be joining more events like this with Mr. Rahman. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any other educators? If you want to tell something, no problem. We are just at the finishing point now. Okay, I didn't, ma'am. Okay, if you want, you can tell. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you very much to Atik from Bangladesh. Thank you very much to Nadia. You are very good teachers and very good friends. It's a great opportunities, a wonderful opportunity for us, for our students. And I would like to ask if I can send the presentation of my student through Flipgrid, because we have got the recorded section. And thank you very much, because it's a wonderful opportunity to discover the poem, to discover the literature the foreign literature. It's a wonderful way to overcome the shyness of students, because they are very shy and they are very embarrassed to read to other students in front of all over the world. But this is a great opportunity. Thank you very much. I will send you my recorded section. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any other educators?
Can I have,
yeah,
can
ma'am.
I express my gratitude? So, you know, I will express my gratitude to Tasnia Rahman, first of all, because I guess it's thanks to her love for poetry, her daddy created these poetry recitals. I think she is the main inspiration for our meetings. And I'm happy that such students have the opportunity, the floor to present their love for poetry, and it is very good that we can work in a small community to overcome the shyness of students, as teacher Irene says. Yes, and it is great that we can even talk in our mother tongue, just to be open to the global world, just to start to make our first steps in the global community. Thank you very much for your time, for your effort, for your inspiration.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And really, you inspired me to arrange such kind of session.
Rahman sir,
give thanks to you.
One more
And
is that we forget to congratulate and give a round of applause for Ms. Tasnia Rahman and also Dashini Krishnan for moderating the session. Yeah, give them a round of applause.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And maybe for ma'am want to say something, ma'am. For ma'am from Taiwan, ma'am.
For you. For you,
Yeah,
you can present.
Yeah, Chen, for you, ma'am. Do you want to tell something?
Okay, I will thank Russia, Nadia. You are always a role model and the best educator in the world. I always learn a lot from your teaching skills and the PowerPoint, and also the mother language. Thanks, Bangalore Atiku. Thanks for your cooperation, and the Malaysia, the Marathia. Thanks for your cooperation, and thanks Italia, Irene, right? Irene. Teacher, I always enjoy your Italian. Very beautiful. Thank you. Don't worry. Students always have some PC problems. Don't worry. I love your Italian. Thank you. And the very beautiful Vietnam students, you did very great job. And the India students, you're impressive and let me always cheer. And thanks Malaysia and Bangalore. Every student all did very well, and I also thank Bangalore Tasnia. You always did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And another educator. For the Alabama name or any friend? Okay.
Hi everyone. I am from Vietnam, and I would like to introduce my students in Nguyễn Minh Đức, who had just recited the poem to you, and now he will tell you about his feeling right now.
So thank you for listening to my speech.
معلش انا جت الحصه نسيت كل حاجه، حتى محتاجه طلبات لان هطلع اجيبها بس هصلي العصر لسه، والله كان عندنا سيشن خلصتها انا ونور.
A very big opportunity for me to introduce my mother language to teachers and students around the world, and hope that in the future I will participate in more competition like this.
Then thank you. Any educator or student want to say? Okay, maybe not. So I am earnestly request to our keynote speaker Nadia ma'am to finish our this session.
Shall I finish the session?
Oh, sorry. My student is here. Can you listen to her?
Yeah, okay,
Angela.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
please, Angela, introduce yourself, presentati and leggi. Vai. Microfono.
Hi, my name is Angela and I am 13 years old. I live in Catania and I attend the Natural Urano School. I chose this poem because I like it and because I think it's very meaningful. The author is Giacomo Leopardi. He was born on 29 June 1798 in Recanati, in Marche region, and he was one of the most important symbols in Italian literature. He wrote many poems. We remember Gibaldone, a story of his thought, the moral operettas, Idyllis, in which we find To the Moon, Saturday of Village, and Infinity. Infinity, his poem, talks about the powerful imagination, power that can overcome obstacle and anyone's problem. In this poem, the most important symbol is a head that limits the view of our eyes, and then it starts the imagination. Enjoy the poem.
Thank you.
L'infinito.
Nice poem, nice.
Sempre caro mi fu quest'ermo colle. È questa siepe che da tanta parte dell'ultimo orizzonte il guardo esclude. Ma sedendo e mirando, interminati spazi, di là da quella e sovrumani silenzi, e profondissime quiete io nel pensier mi fingo. Ove per poco il cor non si spaura, e come il vento odo sormire tra queste piante. Io questo infinito silenzio a questa voce vo comparando, e mi son via l'eterno, e le morte stagioni, e la presente è viva, e il suon di lei. Così tra questa immensità s'annega il pensier mio, e a naufragar m'è dolce in questo mare.
Angela, brava.
Thanks to you, dear student. We are waiting for you. And we are happy that you finished your poetry session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So again, I request Nadia ma'am, if you want, you can finish our session.
So, Atiku, do you want me to finish?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I think
now.
Some countries are late of night now. So, okay.
All right. So I was honored to be nominated as a key speaker, because I'm usually an ordinary participant. And I'm happy to be among the friends, because all the educators here are my friends. I know them from the Facebook, from other communities and so on. We cross our roads this or that way, yes. And it's good not only for students to be in the company of friendly people, but also for teachers, because I feel at home. And it is not so ordinary for me to recite poetry, but thanks to you, I invite my students, I myself become more dedicated to poetry, to language learning. And today we did a great job. Educators took a lot of time, spent a lot of time arranging the session, inviting students, preparing for the recitals. And a great job was done by the moderators. And I think it is one of the positive sides of our collaboration, that we develop public skills of students, we develop their leadership skills. And I'm again thankful firstly to Atikur for being so dedicated to poetry, to our community, to Nirmala ma'am, who spends a lot of time assisting these sessions, and to all the educators, to Irene, Tunga, Ludmila from Ukraine, and for you being so devoted to global education. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, dear educators and students. Hope we shall meet again next time. So I hope everybody try to keep good. Almighty help us, and everybody try to save and try to maintain the social distance such this corona pandemic, and we pray for each other. Okay, ma'am, if you want to say something, ma'am.
Well, Edgar, I'd like to thank everybody here because we were one of the participants for this like a festival, and we crossed the border to have such a friendly people here and to enjoy the poetry from all over the countries. And this is something really fabulous. This is something awesome. Thank you, Nadia Zex. Thank you, Edgar. And thank you all. We are friends from a teenager team. I know you all. Thank you, guys. Thank you, my friends. It was really, really, inspiring experience. And we really like it. My students also like it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Nirmala ma'am, you can dash to finish it if you want.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rahman sir, Nadia ma'am, always there for us and all the educators and students. So I'm going to stop the recording and also end the session. Thank you so much once again.